In association with Official Wrestling comes A Few Good Marks podcast. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to A Few Good Marks. I am your host and current predictions champion, Kieran, and I'm joined by Candy.
Hi.
Pete, Alex,
yeah.
and whoa!
I'm hungry.
Right, what happened when we used to do these intros? And everyone
There we fucking go.
Croft can't make it tonight, unfortunately.
It's IBS.
No, it
playing.
did not.
Oh, you can't drop that on him. Oh,
The
you
small
absolutely.
box
That's
did not
so
go
harsh.
I have IBS as well. It's all right.
Amazing. Let's just spill personal bit. No, it's not. So it's been a busy month. We're just gonna quickly run through some bits of the news that's been going on, and then we're gonna get down to our SummerSlam predictions, and then the second half of this will be our SummerSlam review. So kicking things off, the Mae Young Classic number 2.
Has it finished?
Electric
No,
Boogaloo.
it's not even started yet. It's not even out.
Okay.
They've had some of the matches and stuff like that, but anyone seen any of the competitors?
Io Shirai's in it.
Yeah, she is.
Is it IO or low?
Io.
Is it IO?
Well, it's Io.
Oh, I thought it was low, like LO, but I thought it was lowercase L.
Yeah, she's there's a lot of there's a lot of repetitive competitors from last year, isn't there?
A bit like the UK.
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, they've obviously got these women under contract, so there's no point in just bringing in more and paying more wages.
Yeah.
When you've got more talent, you just want to show off and make it an annual thing. Zaya Brookside's in it though, youngest competitor going. Anyways, they announced.
We're quite negative about
Staying on this, like
Classic.
the beginning. Actually, you know what? The beginning of this podcast is like, until we get to the.
Oh, last year's was so bad. I don't even care.
I don't even care about the Mae Young Classic. Like, they could have called it the Vajaroo Boogaloo for all I care. Like,
Start a petition now.
Considering the start of this podcast is all women's wrestling heavy, that's a great way to start.
Vajaroo Boogaloo. Can we call this episode Vajaroo Boogaloo?
I would edit this section out.
Yeah, I think we'll just have to cut around this. Just so it's literally just gonna read. So the Mae Young Classic's happening, and on to the next thing. One thing that was genuinely really, really cool. Renee Young became the first woman to call an entire episode of
Renee Young.
Monday Night
She did a
Raw.
good job.
Thoroughly deserved, and she did a fantastic job.
I hated Renee Young when she first came on. I was like, oh my god, this bitch is so annoying, and now I love her. And even on Total Divas, she's so nice. I love her.
Yeah, I love Renee.
I want to be a friend.
Compared to like the rest
If Renee
of
Young
the...
ever listens to this, I want to be a friend.
Compared to the rest of like the female like on-screen talent as well. Like announcers and stuff. She's just like head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cheers, pal.
Even most of the male announcers as well, so...
Yeah, she's...
used to do some NXT back in the day.
Who?
Renee, she used to do
Yeah, that's
some
right, yeah,
NXT.
she did.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's alright then, yeah.
Belton. And we can only imagine that she will be on commentary for the first ever all-women's pay-per-view event. Evolution is going down. They've announced...
I can't think what's going to happen with that.
Well, they've announced the first match confirmed, and it will be Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus.
Doesn't that just like tell you that Bliss is going to win at SummerSlam then?
No, because I think they might do something like Ronda versus Asuka or Ronda versus
No, you know what they are
Charlotte
doing?
or
They're
something.
doing Ronda versus Nikki Bella apparently.
Oh my word!
That's what's like rumoured at the moment.
That's
Rumour
has
and
made me
innuendo.
not want to watch
I
this
mean,
pay-per-view.
to be fair, Nikki Bella, credit where credit's due. She don't get enough credit.
But she's not quite Trish Stratus, is she?
No,
No.
that's like, or get somebody else back.
They
to
might
face.
change it though. They might have
Yeah.
Ronda versus Trish. Like now that
Yeah,
you know, like they
like-
always do that because to swerve you, don't they?
Yeah, so like whoever's the champion will end up facing.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
I also heard about 3 weeks after this all women's pay-per-view, they're back off to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And the women still aren't invited there.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's. I
You're going to
imagine
be
that's
watching it. Evolution, you're going to be watching it.
probably yeah.
I
Catch some matches. Depends what...
Depends what.
Yeah, I mean,
Depends
it
what the
probably
card's
depends on
like.
the card, I guess. But Like it's the same. I mean, we'll end up doing a review of it anyway. Because
I have just looked it up, and it says the Mae Young Classic final will be on that show.
On that show as well.
And I've also just read who's in the final.
Who?
Well, for
I'll
Mae Young
tell you
Classic.
that.
Oh no! Don't spoil that. I know.
I'll
Who text me it?
yeah.
Oh my god. Staying on women's wrestling, I wanted to bring up this that Dave Meltzer, who we love to give a good mention to on this
I
podcast.
think I know where it's going.
He said something about Peyton Royce on his podcast, and how you can say anything bad about Peyton Royce in the first place is far beyond me. But he commented on her weight saying like she was a lot skinnier when she was at Full Sail.
This pissed me off.
Oh, I can imagine it pissed you off. She then like called him out on it, and he then said, "Oh, I'm sorry for the standards that you have to, live up to, and it must be hard.
Don't
You've got to live
fucking
up to
say
these
shit
things."
like that then.
But then somebody thinking is just like, "Well, you've missed the point entirely, Dave. It's not that." It's not like that she has to live up to these standards. It's the fact that there shouldn't be those sorts of standards at all.
Him saying that is what creates standards.
Exactly, that's
Those
the thing.
standards
But it's
came from men who was misogynistic and said, I don't want girls who are fat and I'm fat. So fuck him. Because I'm fat.
Well, you're in the presence of like me.
I'm me.
I'm king fat.
Here is my belly. For those who listen, I've currently got my rolls out.
So.
Rolls and proud.
But yeah,
That's the new Me Too movement.
Yeah,
Rolls
rolls
and proud.
lost a lot of respect for Dave over that. Has to be said. But there we go.
To be fair, there are people in the wrestling business who've probably said worse about women than Dave Meltzer.
Probably.
Yeah, but
Jim Cornette
someone like
No, I
him.
wouldn't say Jim Cornette, but like
Someone like
Vince
him
McMahon
shouldn't be
and
saying
all
that
the
when
shit
he's
they do.
so well respected
Yeah,
in
he
the
shouldn't have
wrestling
said
business.
it. But he shouldn't have said it publicly, or he shouldn't have said it at all, rather. But there are probably people who've said worse
And gone away with it.
and got away with it. It's just the fact that he
It's
was
just
in a public forum.
Yeah, and
everyone's shitting on
and
him.
it's now that the.
They're probably like Vince and Kevin Dunn and all them have probably said worse. John Laurinaitis for fucking one. He's probably said a lot worse about women than anyone. But because Dave Meltzer gets said it in a public forum, he gets shat on when he should be shitting on everyone.
Yeah, but I
said
think
that.
to say it in... I get what you're saying, but I think to say it in 2018, in this day and fucking age, it's like, give your head a bang. I'm not, like, advocating what anyone said in the past, but in 2018, you would just think, why do you even want a load of fucking angry feminists coming at you? I'm an angry feminist. No one wants me coming at them, but 10 years ago, I would not have been an angry feminist. But there's even angrier feminists than me. So, just shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's, there is absolutely no place for it at all.
there never was, but like,
Well,
I
no,
get
but-
why it never used to get shat on, because like, that was just the thing. But like, how stupid do you have to be to say it now? Like,
Absolutely.
Stress.
So I've got one thing on here, but I'll save it till the end because it's quite somber. But Willow's got a fact for us. Moving on to SummerSlam.
Moving on to SummerSlam. Well, I thought we were going to run down the card or something first.
Okay, let's run down.
That was fact.
Do you want us to? Do you want to do it after the? Do you want your fact after the predictions? Should we do
After
that?
what? Are you-
'Cause
what-
we
no,
went down-
I want to know it now.
No, you're going to run down the card.
So, running down the card, your first 3 pre-show matches are the B Team against the Revival for the Raw Tag Team titles, Rusev and Lana versus Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega. The
You missed
Cruiserweight.
a match out when we was doing our predictions.
No, I didn't.
You
Yes,
were in
you
the
did.
kitchen.
No,
You
I
were in the
didn't.
kitchen.
You weren't listening.
What
That's
than you
perfect.
did?
Oh no, you're right.
Ah!
You dickhead!
Dickhead, you dickhead. Anyway, before I was really interrupted.
You don't even like the New Day.
Is probably will be your pre-show main event is Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. On to the main show, there is Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin, Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the US title, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental.
The Bludgeon Brothers versus the New Day.
Thank you, Alex. Carmella, Becky Lynch and Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title. AJ versus Samoa Joe for the WWE title, Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title, and Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title, and also Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens. There's so many matches!
That's a lot of matches.
It's a lot of matches.
That's a lot of matches.
So what was your fact?
So, my fact is, this is the first SummerSlam in 15 years without John Cena.
Oh,
And the first
Wow.
SummerSlam ever without either Bret Hart, The Undertaker, or John Cena.
Wow, that's insane.
I reckon he'll show up.
Well,
That
yeah,
is
unless he makes like a surprise appearance.
Absolutely
It's the
insane.
first SummerSlam ever without any of them three men.
That's mental.
Cash.
You'll definitely be in the crowd now and fuck you over.
Yeah,
Is
fuck
Cena
you,
in the
John.
bank briefcase?
Seriously, fuck you over.
Having a pint.
Yeah, 13 matches overall.
Do you remember when Eva Marie called SummerSlam Super Slam? I'm so excited for Super Slam.
Oh, is she doing porn yet or what?
No, she's back wrestling apparently.
Is she?
God help the world.
Let me check her Insta.
Okay.
It's not quite as bad as Jeremy
there's-
Piven in the Summerfest.
Oh, no.
Summerfest.
Summerfest.
From
She's
the
doing
Summerfest.
films. I saw one a while ago.
Yeah, I thought
Adult
she was
contemporary
Like films or
No,
acting
like,
films?
like
Oh,
proper, like
that's
dramatic.
semi-disappointing.
She got
She
killed
has
in it.
dramatic! What's she gonna like
She has
see
purple hair now.
She got killed in it.
Ah, no, she looked fit with the
Oh
dress.
wait, no, I'm thinking of Rosa Mendes, not Eva Marie.
Oh,
She's back wrestling, Rosa Mendes.
Fair enough.
Rosa Mendes.
Mendes.
How'd you say it?
Mendes.
Mendes?
Mendes. Wasn't there a teacher at our school? Menzies.
Menzies.
Ah, bad. It was like me and Candy like doing the what was it, A block?
A
B
block
block?
and B block.
The G1.
Okada's over at A block. Doing his English language.
Pop myself. Yeah, there's 4 rematches on this card from Extreme Rules. One of which is Corbin and Balor. Why the fuck are they giving us that again?
50-50 booking.
Wasn't the
You've got to win each, so we'll have a match. Literally it.
So, on to our predictions. Going into this, I have been champion since Backlash, I believe.
Boo!
Cheat.
Nope,
Yep.
Fix.
absolutely not.
It's a fix, that's why.
It's not fixed, it's
In fact,
predetermined.
Kieran, why
To work.
Kieran,
I
why
have
don't you
already-
read your predictions out first?
I've already written mine down, so shh.
On your laptop, which you can change.
No, because I'm not going to change them in front of you, am I?
Maybe.
No, you read yours out first.
No, because champion. I'd go for what's name. I can't read them out. Like what's name. And Candy. All right, Candy will sit there. I'm gonna go last because that's the champion always goes last when reading out predictions. But Candy can double check them. So I will read Croft's out first because Croft has sent me his. So going out first, we have the Raw Tag Team titles. The B Team versus the Revival. Croft has gone for the B Team. Pete.
I'm also going to beat him.
Me too.
Who are they facing?
The Revival. Ken.
Ken.
I kind of want to say. This is.
The Revival versus B
I
Team.
kind of want to say Revival, but. Oh, it's hard. It's hard to say.
You don't care.
I know I don't, and that's why it's hard to say. Because I don't care who wins. B team.
Candy.
B team.
I am the only one who's gone for a Revival.
Hipster.
Yeah, absolutely. Hashtag YOLO. That's so dramatic.
We get to play the game
Yes, we do.
tonight.
We do. But predictions. So Rusev and Lana versus Almas and Zelina Vega. Croft has gone for Almas and Vega.
So have I.
Me too.
Me three.
Same.
And also, so that's a clean sweep for Almas and Vega. And
probably
your
lose.
what will more than likely be your pre-show main event. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight title. Croft has gone for Gulak.
I have as well.
Kedrick.
I don't know who either of these two are, but I've gone for Cedric Alexander.
I only know who Cedric is, so I've gone for him.
And I've gone for Gulak as well. I don't know, Cedric's held it
Isn't
for
that
quite a
great
while, hasn't he?
dish? Nice bit of
Held it
Gulak.
since Mania, hasn't he?
Gulag.
So, I don't know, and I just think that, like, I've not been watching a lot of 205 Live, but I just heard that that's, like, the momentum shift that's been going on. So I just think that Gulak's got a lot behind him, and I think it'd be nice to see somebody who doesn't do a lot of
Still a
flippy
show.
shit. Who doesn't do a lot of flippy shit actually hold the title for once.
How dare you interrupt the Lord?
Exactly.
Not me for once.
I know, shock. Next up, Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, a match that's been brewing for quite some time.
Years in the making.
Absolutely. Croft has gone for Daniel Bryan.
As have I.
Pete, Alex.
Miz.
Ooh.
No, I've gone for Bryan.
I've gone for The Miz.
I've gone for Daniel Bryan as well. Why have you gone for The Miz?
I just think because it's been so long in the making, I think it's like it's gonna be like the Miz's big win. That's not like a dickhead win.
Okay. So you reckon he's going to go over clean then? Like purely?
I think because this has been going on so long, we know how much WWE like rematches. This is not going to be their only match.
No.
So I think Miz is going to take the first one. Bryan's going to get it back at the next pay-per-view, and then Survivor Series. Then you have the rubber match.
Fair enough. No, I don't know. I just think that I think they'd be silly not to push Bryan back up to the top as where he once was.
He's already been pushed there, though.
No, but I mean fully into the title picture, and I think getting a win over The Miz strongly puts him in contention to face whoever wins the title match tonight.
To be fair, yeah, they could have Joe win and then move Daniel Bryan up to face Joe.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a match that's not happened since the ROH days, hasn't it?
Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Next up is the rematch we all wanted from Extreme Rules. It's Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin. Croft has gone for Balor.
As have I.
Balor.
Balor! Clean sweep number 2. Yeah, I just think fuck Baron.
Corbin won the last one, didn't he?
He won on the Raw.
Oh, okay. So this is the third match between these guys.
Yeah. Balor's winning at the big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's happening.
Pretty sure it's rumoured that he's going to come out
Balor is undefeated at SummerSlam, is he
in
not?
his
He's Demon.
2-0.
Demon.
Excellent.
demon tonight.
I'd pop
Oh,
for
you
that.
don't waste the fucking demon on Baron Corbin.
Bonus
Yeah,
score
true
for King.
though. I'd, yeah.
He didn't do it at WrestleMania, did he?
No.
He hadn't done it at all this year.
He's not done
He's
it
not
for a
done it
while.
since, like,
He's not done it since
just
his feud
after
with
we-
Bray Wyatt.
Bryant.
Bryant.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's not done it since the feud with Wyatt.
When he was Pump Finn.
Oh, yeah.
Pump Finn. I'm so glad that didn't. I'm so glad. Right, that pay-per-view was saved by meningitis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't get Roman as part of the Shield. We got Kurt Angle instead, which was far better. And we didn't get the shittiness that would have been Balor and Bray Wyatt. We got Balor and AJ.
Pumpkin versus Swamp Ghost Lady.
Oh, brilliant. Next up, we have Jeff Hardy against Shinsuke Nakamura for the US title. Croft has gone for Nakamura.
I have 2.
Me 3.
I've gone for Sheamus.
Same.
I've also gone for Nakamura.
Who is he facing? Oh, Hardy.
Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton's probably going to get involved somehow.
Yeah.
I would imagine it'd be a DQ win to Jeff.
He's going to get his dick out and like...
Someone make him shake his hand.
Yeah.
Touch my snake. Touch my viper.
Yeah, I don't know. Really
Maybe
much
Jake
else
the
to
Snake
say on
Roberts is going to come out and like
Who?
Jake the Snake Roberts. And he's gonna like put his like snake between like Randy Orton's legs, and they're gonna like I don't know where I'm going with it. It's just a thought. It's just...
What a visual.
Quit while you're ahead. The what?
What a visual.
You ever seen the Legends of Wrestling pay-per-view? It's like the worst pay-per-view of all time, where like the main event was like Jake Roberts versus Yokozuna, and Jake Roberts came out like absolutely like off his face, like on like whatever, and like he gets Damien out and puts it down his trousers and like starts wanking off Damien.
And you can see the Hero review next time on FedWatch.
Oh, can we do that for a vintage watch?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking brilliant.
Because it's got the worst tag team match of all time. We got minus 495 stars, which is Sheik and Volkov versus the Bushwhackers.
Oh, I need
And they're
that.
both so immobile. It's like two logs just like slowly moving towards each other.
Like the fight in it, Family Guy. What's his face, Herbert?
Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Next up, we have the Intercontinental title on the line between Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner against Seth Rollins with Dean fucking Ambrose
taking selfies,
in his
you.
corner.
Getting your lips out for the lads.
Croft.
Did it look that good on this picture, so I'll have to take it again.
Croft has gone for Rollins.
I have also gone for Rollins. I'm predicting a Ambrose heel turn, but I don't know about tonight.
Ooh, okay. Alex.
Rollins.
You're right.
Shiver.
I haven't been able to pick for this.
No, now or never, mate.
Is
Could.
it?
You also wrote rolling. Definitely that says rolling.
It does say rolling.
Well, it's good to know that somebody else is bad at spelling.
Well, it's actually like it's like an S, but it went like a G.
Here you go.
Ziggler.
Oh, he's gone for Dolph. Candy?
Rollins.
I have also gone for Rollins. Yeah. I think this would be good. Now that Ambrose is back, I think this is going to be.
I love how he looks like both bushwhackers at the same time.
He's.
Can we discuss how good Ambrose looks?
Yeah, he's been fucking hitting that gym, hasn't he?
Hanging and banging.
He's
And
got
he's-
the
and he's-
champa route of just get jacked, grow a beard,
Yeah. Get rid of shit haircut.
turn on best mate.
Oh, don't. I'm going to be so sad. I mean, I won't because I wanted heel Ambrose for ages, but that's not the point. Next up is Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens with Braun's Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. Croft has gone for Owens.
I've gone Strowman, as I'll elaborate later.
I've gone for Owens.
I'm going for Owens, although this whole feud's daft.
Oh, okay.
Strowman.
I've also gone for Strowman. How come you guys think Owens, like, getting the briefcase?
Because I think that will get. I think it is needed. He has literally needed this since he dropped the Universal however many days ago it was. It was years ago now. And I think that he will cash in tonight and then the fans will be sent home happy.
See, but I think Braun will retain, and then the same thing will happen. He'll come out tonight, and the fans will be sent home happy.
No.
More or less.
I would
No,
much
because
rather...
I think what's going to happen is that Kevin Owens will win it, and then but he'll cheat.
Owens isn't as over as Strowman.
No, listen, he will cheat to win the title, the briefcase. He'll then cash in, win the title, and Strowman comes straight for him, starting the feud between them two. Strowman's instantly in the title picture. Roman Reigns is finally pushed out of it. Brock's fucked off to UFC. I think that would work.
I'll come on to we'll come on to the Universal title.
I like the idea of that,
in a
but it
sec.
sounds too well thought out.
For WWE.
Yeah.
Hang on, Pete, were you going to elaborate?
Yeah,
it's
go
going
on.
to be that. I was just going to say I think Strowman's going to
Cash in tonight.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll come on to the Universal title picture as at the end. Next up, the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It's the Bludgeon Brothers against the New Day. Croft has gone New Day.
I've gone Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah. Alex?
Me too, Bludgeon Brothers.
Bludgeon Brothers.
I've written New Day.
However,
I do feel like it might be the Bludgeon Brothers.
so, so you're going for.
Another one. I don't really care about this match.
This is definitely going to be a piss break or a match cool down match.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've really cooled off on a cool day. Yeah, the cool day.
On the cool day.
The cool day.
Cool day.
The New Day. I'm gonna go with Bludgeon Brothers. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna go with Bludgeon
Switching
Brothers.
up, Candy.
I have the Bludgeon Brothers.
I also have the Bludgeon Brothers. Yeah, just think that they're on a good streak, and we may get the end of the New Day tonight.
I don't think there's been enough like momentum with them.
No, yeah, but it could just come from out of nowhere, couldn't it?
I guess.
Like, the Shield one came from out of nowhere. So.
I kind of don't want them to win and then just have Usos versus New Day again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sick of that, and I'm a bit sick of the New Day.
As much as I love their matches, yeah, for into the final stretch, final 4 matches. We have the SmackDown Women's title on the line. Carmella defends against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. This could be the wild card match of the night because it always goes this way with triple threats. Could come down to this match.
Carmella will make it shit.
That's a good early
Not a wild
prediction.
card then, okay.
Croft has gone for Charlotte.
I've gone for Becky.
I've gone for Becky.
I've gone for Becky.
I've gone for Becky.
I've gone Charlotte, although I genuinely still think though, like there's part of me that thinks it could be Carmella.
I want Becky to win. That's why I've picked her.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of ways this could go because of the way they built it up. That Becky had the match first, and then Charlotte won a match to get herself put into it, and she tapped out the champion and all that. I think Becky's going to have enough, and her and Charlotte are going to get into a tiff. It's going to end up one way or another. Carmella's going to capitalise on the two of them going at each other, and Carmella's going to retain via that. She's not going to really do much of the damage. She's going to let the two of them go. Or we're going to have a heel turn, and Becky's going to win it. or we're gonna have a heel turn after the match when Charlotte wins it. They're the only three ways I see this match going. The three situations that I see either one. So Carmella wins via Becky and Charlotte getting it like having enough of each other, or Becky having enough of Charlotte. Becky turns on Charlotte mid-match and wins, or Charlotte wins, Becky turns on her after the match.
That's Charlotte turning on Becky.
No. Oh, maybe, but no, I wouldn't see that happening. She's not been back very long, and I don't think the storyline's there for Charlotte to turn on Becky.
But isn't Becky like the main babyface female on SmackDown?
Not now Charlotte's back.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have said so. Would you guys have said so?
I would have said so.
Really?
Thanks,
She's
well,
Becky's still up there.
Yeah, I'd say Becky's probably at the minute. I'd say. She's
And
more
I guess there's no need. Well, I guess there's no need for it to heel turn because Carmella's the big heel.
She's not.
She's the main heel. She is shit. But this is the thing. Like, my one problem I've got with Carmella is that they're pushing her as like, oh, she's turned on. She said, "I'm a diva," and it's like, no. Like, fair enough. You're an attractive woman, and and you've got a good character. I'm not taking that away from her. She's like good at, good personality wise. She's fine. But what a lot of women want, I'm sure you can probably attest to this, is like women being shown as just as good wrestlers.
Yeah.
Whereas Carmella is a step back from that, and not a step forward in what you mean. Whereas Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and Bayley have been, even Bliss to an extent when she first started. Maybe not so much now. Maybe due to opinions in the room. But I don't know. She's just she's a good character. She's not a good wrestler.
For me, I'd like to see Becky win it and then have Charlotte turn, because I think Becky's a more natural babyface. She's more believable. Like you can get behind her.
Yeah,
and I think Charlotte would be a better heel than Becky.
So
if anyone's going to turn,
Charlotte's was heel for so long.
Yeah, she was heel when she first got
Becky
called
has
out.
been face since she got called.
I know,
out.
and
it's also like
I think it'd be stupid to try and turn Becky heel, because I don't think she'd be as good as it. I think Charlotte would be better.
They're gonna get pops either way, though.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter
the
who
way it
turns.
goes now, isn't it? But I especially I think that like the storyline would be there that she'd be justified for turning heel and turning on Charlotte. Like, her best mate has come in and taken her sole
But we're talking
title
about
opportunity.
WWE. You don't really justify anything.
This is very true. But oh well. Moving on to the WWE title match. It's AJ Styles defending against Samoa Joe. Croft has gone for Joe.
Gone Styles.
Senor Joe.
Pete's gone Styles.
Joe.
You've gone Joe.
I've gone Joe.
Joe.
I've gone for Styles.
I've also gone Styles. I was so hot and cold between this, but then given my last two predictions, I just thought, no, they're not going to change this one too.
I think they're going to have another match at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, and
I
that
think
could be
that
where Joe
Joe's
takes it. I would
Did
agree.
you see the thing that he did on like the network and YouTube for Joe, like the big 45-minute like documentary?
No.
Oh no.
That was really good. Yeah, but I thought that was my thinking. Was like, why would you do that for Joe, and then have him lose? Like, why would you?
True. But they've got a 365 documentary for Styles coming out soon, haven't they, as well?
Oh.
Which would be very interesting.
But it was like all about him like losing, like missing WrestleManias and all that, and like always like built towards this match at SummerSlam. It was quite good.
Fair enough. Might have to give that a watch later.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Any other comments on this match?
I think it's going to be fucking boss.
This is
I think it's gonna
match
be
of
a
the night
proper
potential.
match, yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope it is anyway.
If they can pull off a fraction of what they pulled off in TNA, this match will be bloody amazing. And I think it's the first time ever.
We said this about Nakamura and Styles doing it once.
True, but that was a New Japan style match in WWE to a degree, which had a very slow build.
I don't know if I agree with that, because on my top 10 matches, the New Japan match is on there.
True. I guess. And
I think they knew that they had 4 months to fill. They knew Nakamura was turning heel. They knew all these ball shots were coming. They thought, we'll just get this first one out of the way and then try and build from there.
True, but I think that
WrestleMania
they, I think given actually this might be a better way of looking at it, is that going at it from AJ and Nakamura had that match at Wrestle Kingdom and it was boss in New Japan. Then you try and put the same workers in the style of WWE, where WWE have a very specific style of working, and it's like whatever. But TNA isn't that far away from WWE's style of work. It's an American style of working. It's not a Japanese style or an indie style. So I feel like the way that they've worked could be. That's why I think a lot of ROH guys do better than New Japan guys who come over, because the style's a little bit more adjusted. But there we go. Next up, the Raw Women's title, Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey, and Croft has gone for Ronda.
Ronda.
Clean sweep yet again. There's no possible, unless there's like a huge return to upset. You know what I mean? Like if Steph comes out and costs her it or something.
Turn Natty heel.
I don't think Natty.
I'd like to see that. I'd prefer to see that than Bliss.
I'll definitely rematch of Bliss and Ronda. No thanks.
But it's almost inevitable, really, isn't it? It's the second biggest show of the year, and they've been building to it. They screwed her out of the title at Money in the Bank. They've wasted no time in getting her into the title picture, which I think was a massive mistake. But there you go.
Do you not think it says something though that like they have all these UFC stars coming in and instantly they're like the top stars?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you not think it shits on the rest of them a little
Yeah,
bit?
I agree.
God, yes.
Like
100%
back when
yes.
like Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn came in, they were like, oh well, they can't. You know, Ken Shamrock was never world champion, was he?
Mm-hmm. Shayna Baszler in NXT.
Yeah, like it does say something that like now
It'll be the same when Matt Riddle gets called in.
Back then it was like, oh well, we're better than UFC. Look, Ken Shamrock's doing really badly.
Yeah.
Dan Severn's only been here 6 months, and now look at him. But now that's like, oh well, UFC are coming in and fucking us over.
Yeah, I completely get what you mean. It's been a bit it's a bit naff, really, isn't it? But there you go. But it's up to WWE. But it's a clean sweep for Ronda. And finally, the Universal title match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Croft has gone for Lesnar. Pete.
I went with Reigns for this.
Alex.
See, Reigns, but Kevin Owens, but like
After or during, because that does count. You can call for a okay.
I'm gonna say Strowman after.
Okay, that doesn't count
Okay,
as part
so-
of it. But if you would have said, if you wanted to say that either the Money in the Bank
Kevin
person
Owens
would cash in during, like Rollins did.
Okay, no, yeah.
I'm gonna say Brock, and then he goes to UFC with the Universal Championship.
He'd get laughed out the building.
Speaking of going to different companies with belts, apparently Chris Jericho was trying to get booked for SummerSlam.
Oh,
Yeah, he wanted
IC title
Yeah.
versus IC title against Ziggler.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
But
I think he could come back and help Kevin Owens there, reignite the friendship.
Oh, maybe. I'd pop for that, to be fair.
Sin.
I would well pop. Who have you gone for?
the tall fella, Roman.
You've gone for Roman.
The one with the best.
The one with the best. I've also gone for Reigns, but with whoever has the Money in the Bank cashing in. Either that, or we get Paul Heyman turning on Lesnar, and he's now in Reigns' corner. You turn Reigns heel finally. That's how you close out SummerSlam, with Reigns holding aloft the Universal title, with Paul Heyman holding up his other arm.
I think that this heel turn is so overdue.
Isn't it? I mean, if I've called that perfectly, like, I think I should get like 3 extra points on predictions or whatever.
No.
No, of course you'd think that, wouldn't you?
Should also point out that Croft. Actually, I want to bring this up. Croft has the most amazing Virgil Card of Shame run going. So Croft originally won the Virgil Card of Shame Backlash when he took it off Alex. It then went down to Money in the Bank, where Alex and Candy joined Croft as the Virgil Card of Shame holder, and then after Extreme Rules, Croft went, "Fuck you guys, I want it to myself," and is now the sole holder of the Virgil Card of Shame. So he's had the Virgil Card of Shame as long as I've had the belt. So let's see if he can. So
He's not the one in charge of predictions.
So there's
though, is
2
he?
streaks
I
on the
feel
line.
he's lost the card, so keeps losing on purpose, so never has to bring it back.
It's just at his house, he never brings it round. But there you go. they are our predictions, and we're all set for tonight. This entire podcast goes out on Monday, probably after the thing. So anything that we've said, it may as you guys listen to the podcast as we're now about to review it. I think it's just me who's reviewing it. Actually, I don't think any of you are here in the morning.
All of us are so interested in SummerSlam.
I know
that we're leaving.
I know. So we'll be able to tell you in just a few moments' time what happened at SummerSlam. Although you should probably watch it first and then listen to us back. So pause it now, go watch SummerSlam, and then find out if we were right. But thanks for listening so far, folks. I will see you in a second, and these guys will see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.
Bye then.
Bye. So hello, welcome to part 2 of this FedWatch for August. I'm not on my own this time. I'm actually joined by Willow. Willow. Oh, for fuck's sake, not this again. Willow.
Can you do that from left to right?
From left to right. We're not that technical. Will that just do?
That'll do.
Okay. Alright, so neither of us stayed up to watch SummerSlam.
Oh, fuck that.
You went home because you had work, and I got to the first match. I was asleep on my couch, I'm just too tired for this. There's the problems with being a WWE fan in England. This is why New Japan's fine, because I can get up early, have a good night's sleep, and start my day off watching some boss wrestling.
And then they want you to stay up from 12 midnight till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Absolutely mental. Anyway, nonetheless, we have watched it. Let's review it. So, we actually kicked things off the first show. First match of the night on the pre-show was Andrade, Cien Almas and Zelina Vega against Rusev and Lana. This match was meh.
I didn't watch any of these.
Well, there you go. Okay,
I skipped the pre-show.
I'll do a...
I had better things to spend my time on.
Fair enough. This match was very meh. I guess that they're trying to put... they're trying to get the girls on the same level, and it's just put them against the girls. Although Lana still has no business being in a wrestling ring. Vega's very good. But anyway, no one cares. Rusev has gone from facing AJ Styles and going all the way for the WWE title to curtain jerking SummerSlam. Literally. Has there been a worse fall from grace?
I mean, he must have pissed someone off.
Oh, well, how dare you get yourself over? How very dare you?
I don't think Vince saw... Well, I say Vince, whoever saw much longevity in the Rusev Day thing, maybe. I don't know.
Then they didn't capitalise on it when it was hot. So there you go. But Almas and Vega picked up the win with a little bit of cheaty cheats on the ropes. Didn't really care. Get Almas facing Nakamura. That match will be brilliant.
Yeah, he's definitely moving up the card, I think. Andrade Almas.
Absolutely.
I don't think the same can be said for Rusev, but maybe tag team with someone. That might be quite nice for him.
Yeah, something like
that. Just don't have him jobbing.
No,
he's better than that. But obviously, there's no plan for him in singles competition, so I'd move him up to tag team ranks with maybe Aiden English or something.
Yeah, something like that. He needs something because he doesn't deserve to be where he is at the moment. Next match was the Cruiserweights. It was Cedric Alexander defending against Drew Gulak, and this was actually a pretty good match. There was a very nice net breaker from Drew Gulak to Alexander on the apron, where Drew Alexander's heels were on the apron. He dragged him off net first and dropped down onto his knee. That was quite nice. And there was some very nice pinning combos to finish. They were the only real talking points. I like Drew because he's not a typical cruiserweight. He doesn't do all the flippy shit. He's very mat based, but he's good at what he does. So I don't know. I'd have liked to have seen him win, but Cedric Alexander retained in what was a decent match. Fair enough. This next match, your pre-show main event, was the Revival against the B Team for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This was a nothing match. The Revival just wore down the legs all match, had complete control, and then the finish, Scott Dawson had had Curtis Axel in a roll up. The referee's back was turned because Bo Dallas and Dash Wilder were having a thing on the outside. Bo Dallas then got pushed into where the pin was happening. They then rolled over, and so Curtis Axel was on top of Scott Dawson, and they picked up the win.
Oh, that's quite.
So it was funny. It was a pretty funny finish because they're running this with this whole thing that the B team can't actually win a match; they have to win by fluke, and it's nice, but it can only go so far.
Yeah,
so it's nice for now, but it can only go so far.
I think they should do maybe a rematch next pay-per-view or maybe on Raw.
Something like that. I mean, the Revival, my God, they've been up on the main roster for how many years now, and they need...
A year, 2 years now.
Something like that. They've had the injuries and stuff like that, but, like, they're too good to waste.
If they went to, like, I know that everyone says, oh, they should go to, like, New Japan or Ring of Honor, but if they went, if they went somewhere else, they would make a lot of money.
Oh God, yeah.
Everyone.
Like, can you just imagine, like, especially in a match against the Young Bucks, like they've been slagging them off for ages, and it would just be well. But I thought it was the B team retain. It was okay. And so we're on to the main card. Kicking us off is the Intercontinental Title, Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose against Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre. Thoughts on this match?
I thought it was okay. I wasn't really sure what to expect from it. I thought there might have been more shenanigans than there was, really. But it was okay, pretty solid match, nice timing. I thought some of the spots were proper brutal. Like the thing on the outside, and
my first note is there was some lovely Thanos gear from Seth Rollins going on.
I was trying to pick. I was
sat there like I was like going like, I recognise that. Why do I recognise it? And then Corey said he's like out here looking for the Infinity Gauntlet, and it clicked. I was like, aha, that's what it is. So it was nice. The DDT on the apron. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, that was
like, this is something. I might as well bring this up now. This is something that's happening a lot more often. And I don't know whether it's just whether people aren't being creative enough, or whether it's just like a part of entire psychology now that so many things are happening on the apron now. DDTs are happening on the apron, like, oh, that's gonna really hurt, or like and moves happening on the apron whenever somebody hits something onto the apron. Like, you saw the exact same thing 2 nights ago with Velveteen Dream finishing his matchup with 2 moves onto the apron, and it's like, and then people are still doing, and it's, I don't know, it's getting a bit repetitive now.
I think the problem there is that a lot of moves are done a lot of the time now. So you see a lot of DDTs. Yeah. You see a lot of spine busters. That kind of thing. So the only way that you're going to make it special is if you do it on somewhere like the apron or on concrete. True. It's ruined the move. Yeah. Because it's just a regular move now. But if you do it on the apron, that's how it's got to become special now. Yeah, true. Which is a bit of a sorry state of affairs, really. The DDT on its own. Yeah, was. If you look at it from an outside perspective, it's a pretty brutal move. Yeah, you're dropping someone on the head. You just fucking twang someone's head into wood. You're basically hitting them in the head with an entire ring. Yeah. An entire rack. Yeah. So that's how you make it, a move now. Yeah, I get what you mean. So then there was a frog splash. Dolph got the knees up, but Seth still kicked out. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought it was good. Yeah. Oh my god, there was a reverse superplex or an inverted suplex. I've never seen that inverted superplex. I was like, whoa! And then he got him up and then sort of like spinning reverse DDT'd him. Like, bloody hell! I've never seen anything like that. No, before. That was so impressive, so dangerous. It's so impressive. I think what I would have liked to have seen from that is him get the pin, but then Dolph get the leg on the ropes. Yeah, that would have been. That makes it a bit more special. Yeah, because it's something you've never seen before. That could have been a finish. Yeah, absolutely. But hey ho, WWE's format. Shit. Anyway, but it was very nice. Seth kicked out of the zigzag, which I thought was always poignant whenever someone kicks out of it. It's not, but I always like to make a point of it. In WWE, whenever somebody kicks out of a finisher now,
It's like, oh,
Well, it happens a lot everywhere now.
true. But I always think it's, like, I think if we mention it more, people start to take more mention of it.
So they'll stop doing it.
So well, something like that. And we then got a stomp, a Kingslayer stomp. I think Cole's now
Yeah, I
referring
think he
to
called
it.
it a king. Yeah,
Instead of a curb stomp, Kingslayer
I
stomp.
thought, wasn't he calling it a blackout for a bit as well?
Oh, maybe. Which is
But
quite
obviously,
nice.
obviously, it's
Wasn't that
called
what
a
it
king.
originally was called? The blackout,
Maybe.
because he was originally called Tyler Black.
I don't know. I'm a bit confused. Yeah.
But anyway, we have a new Intercontinental Champion. Seth Rollins is your new IC champ. This was overall a pretty decent match.
Pretty decent match. I didn't really see the point of Dean Ambrose and Drew McIntyre being out there.
No, but
That's
I think
why I
it
mean,
was...
I would have liked to see him. And
Yeah.
it was a good way to reintroduce Dean. But they didn't really. They had a little bit of to and fro, but they didn't really interfere.
No.
Like, Dean didn't interfere on Seth's behalf. And
No, I guess so. Like there was a little bit of him, throwing him against the steps and that, and then he got him at the end to cause the distraction.
Dean was there basically to stop
Drew
interfering, I suppose. But
which was
worked.
okay.
It worked.
It was okay, and he didn't interfere. It would have been nicer for them to have been a bigger spot with it, but either way, it was fine.
Dirty Deeds all as well. And tell you what, that Dirty Deeds is looking sick now.
Yeah, it's good,
he's got that down to a T. That's almost like stunner levels of good in my mind.
It's
so
good,
fast, it's so rapid. Like, bam, that's it.
Sit down.
Yeah, that's what it needs to be.
It was good. Moving on, next matchup was for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, and I haven't written that down. How very I feel bad now. It was the New Day taking on the Bludgeon Brothers. It was a decent match. It was very car crashy. You could tell they didn't have a lot of time, so they just
did feel a little bit rushed.
We're just gonna
Which on a fucking 4-hour show.
Yeah, absolutely. This match actually went 9 minutes.
Didn't feel like it.
No, absolutely not.
Is that including intros?
It felt about
or
5.
Bell to Bell?
I think that's bell to bell. Yeah, that was bell to bell. So it really didn't feel that at all. It felt like 5.
Yeah.
So
Bludgeon Brothers are proper, like a good tag team.
Yeah, they
proper,
are. But they need to. I would like to see them in an actual competitive tag team match rather than a we're two big blokes, we're going to beat the fuck out of you type match. I'd like to see them actually do some tag team wrestling.
They reminded me a lot of like the Warlord and Barbarian from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Like two like big fellas, and they were never tag team champs as far as I can remember. But they still had competitive matches without having to
clobber people. Yeah, which is what this is, and I think it's just that's what they've. I think they booked them into this corner now where they will just bash people, and which is why the finish came about. But
if they're still champions leading into Hell in a Cell, which is the next big one, I believe,
the next pay-per-view,
that'll be a good match because they'll obviously do it inside the cell.
Probably,
I think that's what they're going towards.
Probably. We'll come on to Hell in a Cell at the end with future predictions for that. But Eric Rowan got up and sort of stabbed Biggie in the neck with the butt of his hammer, his mallet even. His hammer.
When he said when he keeps calling it a mallet, I just think of like Timmy Mallet, like a big foam.
I just think of a little croquet thing. It's just like spot tea.
Good shot.
Could you imagine those
like
two
light
guys? Could you imagine Rowan and Harper playing croquet?
You know what?
In the English countryside.
When they move down the card, I can see vignettes of that happening. Just
with the big, play croquet with the size mallets.
Big mallets, like top hats on them and monocles.
Oh, brilliant. New Day won via disqualification, so Bludgeon Brothers are still the tag team champions, but remains to be seen going forward. I didn't mind this DQ finish because the New Day were keeping up with them and they were the heels, so it made sense.
It made sense for them to cheese. It was a competitive match.
It was fine. Next up was Braun Strowman versus Kevin Owens, with Braun Strowman's Money in the Bank contract on the line. If Strowman had been disqualified or counted out, he would have lost the contract as well, so it really was on the line. I loved the story behind this, that like Kevin Owens had essentially like Braun Strowman essentially just wanted to kill Kevin Owens, and had this was this whole story. It was, this has been the well-booked story of 2018. Like, I don't care if Owens has come out underneath it. This story has been booked to perfection, because first of all, he throws him off the ladder. He then throws him off the cell. He then pushes him off the stage while he's in a porta potty. Toilet humour. Hilarious WWE. So now he's like, he's tried to take everything off me. I'm going to take everything off him. And was going into this as, he's going to try and take the briefcase off him. But, as we know, it turned out, I've just looked at the match time as well. So Kevin Owens bumped like a boss, took an insane chokeslam on the ramp where he actually bounced up.
Yeah, that was pretty hard.
And in 1 minute 50 seconds, Braun Strowman wins.
That felt longer than 150.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
1 minute 50, and Braun Strowman. I mean, they've set it up now like he's just unstoppable, and it's going to take something big to stop him.
I'm not sure how I feel about this. So on one hand,
the Braun's like unbeatable now.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens is like, for a while at least was some sort of serious challenger. When he was first called up, everyone was ranting and raving about how good he was going to be.
I think.
And now he's jobbing out to Braun Strowman in a minute.
This was
50.
the problem with.
He's beat fucking jobbers in longer time.
I know. Well, this is the problem with what Brock Lesnar sort of created, was that you didn't have anybody. You didn't have a title to go around. You didn't have any. So. Which obviously, like, WWE's built around its titles, and therefore you build your feuds around that. So when there's no champion to face yourself off, like, you've got to keep certain stuff, especially a champion as strong as Brock. You've got to keep these people on this certain level. So now, having what happened and in the main event, which we'll come on to obviously, and having Braun at this level, it's now sort of compatible. And it's viable now. So I think having what's happened, everything will now sort of start to balance out again, instead of just having two guys at this unattainable level and everybody else being so far beneath them, which will also comes into a match a little bit later down the line. So moving on, next up was the triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's title. Carmella defending against Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. It was really weird seeing Charlotte in all pink. It was just weird.
Charlotte, I can't say what I'm thinking, but she looked amazing.
She did look amazing. It was just because I've never seen her in especially a colour that you associate with a diva, like, and that's this may be extremely sexist and stereotypical of me to say, but that is, what I mean. Especially that shade of pink is very. Carmella was even wearing a colour close to it as well. But it was Charlotte normally, who wears these very regal gold or blues or silvers,
just to come out in
bright pink. I was like, oh, okay, that's different. It worked. It was fine. Nothing wrong with it. Just saying it was different. The storyline behind this entire match was Becky and Charlotte's friendship being torn apart and showing cracks. So to start it off, Carmella slapped Becky on the back of the head and then sort of cowered away and acted like Charlotte had just hit her too. And Becky's like, did you just whack me on the head? And it all sort of started going from there, and it's like, and it went on from there. Carmella like driving that wedge between them even more, which was very nice heel work, has to be said. My other note I've got here is Charlotte's corkscrew moonsault will never not be impressive.
I cannot disagree.
It's brilliant. It's one of the best in the world right now. This match, there was a bit, nice back and forth here and there, and a few other decent spots, and Becky nearly tapping out Charlotte, and then she had the oh my god, what's her arm?
The disarmer.
That's it. I knew it was a clever pun.
The disarm her.
Becky had Carmella in the disarm her. Charlotte hits the natural selection on Becky, and pins Becky for her 7th title reign. Charlotte's the first person to match it, to reach Trish Stratus' level. Since this whole thing started, Alexa Bliss wasn't far off, but Charlotte
happened a lot quicker though.
Oh god, yeah, but there was a lot of hot potato in between her and Alexa though. So, what do you think of the match?
I thought it was okay. I think the biggest talking point about this match is what happened afterwards.
Yes. So what happened after the match? Becky and Charlotte hug it out in the ring. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's okay. That's kind of nice." And then Becky just wallops her. Absolutely gets a fuck, mate. And it's not exactly a heel turn. The fans really wanted this.
The fans want Becky.
Yeah, they do. And I was saying
this last night.
You were.
Becky is the most over woman on that roster.
But I have to also say that I called this. I did call that she'd attack her afterwards.
Yeah, I was wrong in the fact that I thought Becky was going to get turned on, which, in my opinion, still should have happened.
No, you see, because in any other normal circumstance, that would be a heel turn. But Becky's that over. Like, this situation has now gone from how dare you cost me my title shot as to how dare you, Charlotte, cost Becky her title shot. You know what I mean? So it's it is everyone against Charlotte at this point. And I think it would be clever, and it would be nice as well to see Charlotte go heel, or even go to tweener at this point, because I don't think she's done enough to go heel, but she's definitely gone enough that, look, I've not done anything wrong here, you're the one who can't get the job done, which is, and again, like, which they're not going to go down the route, because that's
when she turned on Charlotte, the place fucking went mental. They were chanting, "You deserve it," all this.
And she was crying,
Becky, and it was.
And Charlotte.
It was mind blowing.
It was boss.
Yeah.
Charlotte's Instagram afterwards said she put a picture up of her with the title saying "It's lonely at the top," so maybe that's gonna be she maybe is going a bit tweenery, and that'd be a better route to go down, I think.
I mean, and they're probably trying to do the whole Becky chasing the title thing.
I reckon this will be this will probably blow off at Evolution, I imagine.
Maybe, who knows?
We'll have to wait and see. It was a good match though.
It was alright.
It was a good match. Next up was the WWE title match. It was Samoa Joe challenging AJ Styles. These two haven't lost any chemistry whatsoever. Samoa Joe is a fantastic heel, so different, using, it was very well written as well. I literally have 2 notes for this, and I must have written this here at about 12 minutes in, and I've just haven't written anything yet, because this is bloody awesome.
I called this was going to be...
You did call this match was going to be good, and it bloody well was good. This match was cracking. And I didn't actually mind the DQ finish this one as well, because it made sense.
I have a little bit of issue with it.
Okay.
In that, AJ is supposed to be the big baby face. And I thought just maybe one chair shot would have sufficed.
Yeah. But then it is his family.
Yes, but for him to keep wailing on him in front of his wife and kids,
true,
is a little bit it's a bit over the edge. If you're trying to make him, big family man. One's enough. Go, don't fucking talk to my kids like that.
Yeah.
I thought Joe's speech at the end of the match.
Oh, it was perfect.
I popped my god. I was just like, "You be calling me daddy," and I responded out loud on my own with the big bad booty daddy.
Samoa Joe and Scott Steiner forever eternally entwined.
I thought it was a really, really good match. The pacing for this match. I know I spoke earlier about the pacing for AJ and Ziggler. The pacing for this match, nice and slow. No fucking over the top stuff.
No.
Just good old fashioned wrestling, and it was really well done.
Yeah.
There was no. I liked that Joe went between the second and third rope, as opposed to over the top rope.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's a big guy.
He can go over the top.
He can go over the top rope. I'm not saying he can't, but it was good from. It's more believable for him to go through the ropes rather than over the top, which was a nice touch that I liked. Just head to toe, great backwards and forwards between the two of them. just a really good match.
Yeah,
Just
really good match.
Really good match.
Samoa Joe won via disqualification, but AJ obviously retains. And when we come to Hell in a Cell at the end, I would again bring this match up. But moving on, next up, 7 years in the making, it was Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. And again, great match, but did this have to have a screwy finish as well? Did it have to? Like,
I would have liked this to go on earlier, I think.
I think, especially with this finish, if it gone earlier with this finish, I could see, you want to build this on more and more, and I can imagine this goes to Hell in a Cell as well, but, just have, whatever happened to one and done matches, you know what I mean?
I was thinking this while I was watching this.
Whatever happened to one and done matches?
The build to this has been okay. It's not been fantastic. They've not done any they've not really done any big, segments together. Like the old school one and done matches. Say for example Hogan and Andre, where they did Piper's Pit segments together. They did a Miz TV, but it wasn't as defining.
No,
as towards the build.
Yeah.
As say something like that was. So I don't know. They were saying it was 7 years in the making, but it wasn't really. It was like
there was a couple of
2 years, 3 years.
There was a couple
making.
of plot points ahead, and it just sort of all built up.
But
really.
I feel like this should have been built towards like a one and done match.
Yeah,
it should
absolutely.
have been the blow off.
Yeah, it should have been.
If they were building it towards 7 years, this should have it was a 7 years thing. This should have been the blow off. But even during the match, it didn't feel like a blow off.
This is
were doing a lot of like
well.
mirror spots, which was good and all. Like the yes kicks and the surfboard and everything, which was nice. Because Miz has been doing that for a while, and then Daniel Bryan saying this is how you do it properly, and you could see on Miz's chest, like Miz's chest was in bits.
God, yeah, it was awful.
But they did the yes kicks thing quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I was a bit, at first, first couple of times was nice, but after like the third, fourth time,
it just dragged on, didn't it?
I was like, I've seen this already, like, do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the finish came, and I didn't mind the finish so much, because the match wasn't as good as I was hoping it to be.
So maybe, I guess they'll move it on
backwards and forwards a bit.
Yeah.
And maybe, Daniel Bryan will get his definitive win, but it's just a shame that they have to build it like this for every single feud.
Yeah, I agree.
They have to have the matches going on 3 or 4 times. Why not just do it once?
I agree. I just think this also is a massive problem with WWE at the moment, in that could this be one of the reasons why nobody feels as big as they should, because we're not getting one and done matches anymore. Everything has to be a big feud, has to have numerous matches on Raw, SmackDowns, pay-per-views. You know what I mean? Like there's no, apart from Rusev and title challenges, that seems to be the only, you know what I mean? Like whenever somebody challenges for a title, that seems to be the only time people get one and done. But with main feuds, you don't really tend to just get blow-off matches.
I think there's an inherent problem, like with top to bottom with how WWE is run though. Now you can't have one and dones, because there's so much wrestling that you've got to pad it out.
Yeah, and very true.
It was alright in the 80s. There was just as much wrestling then as there is now,
but it wasn't seen
as much. So it's because it's so seen, and because you've got SmackDown every week, you've got Raw every week,
205 Live,
205
NXT.
Well, yeah, but like there was wrestling matches every week, and there was more wrestling shows back then, but not everyone was on the same show every week.
Yeah, that's true.
So you'd have like Hulk Hogan maybe like on TV once, twice a month. You'd be on primetime wrestling maybe 1 week. All American 2 weeks later. That's and the roster's deep enough to do that, but they're not going back to that. They're not going to go back to that.
No.
So we're going to have to, that's their solution to pad things out.
Is to do it like this, and it's hurting the product. It really is, in my mind. Which is why I said this last night. I kind of went on had a little heart pour out moment, and I was just like, I'm just not enjoying WWE right now.
See, I was feeling.
I mean, to be fair, I said that, and then I have really enjoyed this show.
Yeah,
I did really enjoy this show,
yeah.
but in the long run, and when it comes down to talking about subjects like this, it just makes me upset, and it just makes me sad that I'm not enjoying WWE as I used to.
The in-ring product is good. You know, bell to bell, the matches are, you know, for the most part on pay-per-views pretty decent. This was a pretty decent match. You know, Joe versus AJ was great. Ziggler versus Rollins, pretty good.
Yeah.
Bludgeon Brothers, pretty good.
Yeah.
Women's title, pretty good. You know, bell to bell, it's decent. It's the other stuff that's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the actual booking of the storylines that isn't.
100% agree. Maybe a couple of years down the line, when Triple H finally gets his hands on the company, we may start seeing a change.
Maybe, but I don't want it to just become NXT.
No, very true.
Because NXT is a similar thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, true. But we'll anyway. Moving on
swiftly on.
onto like moving
because we could talk for hours.
Oh, we could. We very well could. Moving swiftly on. Next up was Baron Corbin against Finn Balor. And the Demon made his nice little appearance.
Yeah.
No build whatsoever, but fuck it, you can have him anyway.
SummerSlam.
You just bring him up SummerSlam. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm not arguing because I bloody love the Demon.
I like the Demon.
Pop for it. I thought it was really cool.
Why the fuck? Against fucking Baron Corbin.
Yeah, exactly.
Baron Corbin.
Imagine going through all those hours of putting on that paint for a match that lasted 1 minute 35 seconds.
Exactly. Like the video package was longer.
Yeah, it was.
Than the actual match.
It was. Mental. Although the thing is that this got over I think to me this got over how dangerous he is when he's in the Demon persona, because you run through Baron Corbin in this style, whereas as plain old Finn Balor at last pay-per-view, it took him like 10 minutes or something. So this time around he just flattened him, ran straight through him, and you can look at it in that kind of way, but also this, having flattened somebody as big as Baron Corbin, that raises you up. And this is what I was on about before with now elevating certain guys to be at the same level as your champion, and to now be viable threats to your champion.
I can't disagree with that.
So I guess so I don't really have a problem with it. It was a nice little match. I would, always enjoy seeing Finn go over. Finn's he won.
He won. The only issue I have with what you've just raised is if he's got to pull the Demon out to beat Baron Corbin
in a very short amount
of time, granted, but he's still got to pull it out to beat him. If he'd have beat him,
but nobody beat him at the last show without.
But
it
if he
beat
him in that time without the Demon costume and then moves up to the main event
and then pulls it out,
that's saying I've beat Baron Corbin in 1 minute 50 without this. Look at me with it.
Yeah,
wait till you see this.
True, but then
we've all got different
SummerSlam.
Yeah, but it is SummerSlam.
Bring it out for the crowd. Anyway, home stretch, final 3 matches. Next up was Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura, defending the US title. Trading torch to begin with. It was okay.
I thought this was skippable, but then I watched it. And it was quite good. It was the match that we should have got at Extreme Rules when they just ended it with the low blow. So it wasn't half bad at all. It was just a shame that the crowd were dead. I said to you,
they had two.
I was burnt out by this point.
Yeah, they had 22 Samoa Joe and AJ Styles went 22 minutes 45. Miz and Daniel Bryan then went 23:30. They had Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, which went 1:35, but even then it was Demon Finn Balor, so everyone's going to pop and be over for that. To then have this match, this was your cool down match, which was a shame. It didn't deserve to be that, but it's what it was, and it sucks that Nakamura is in that position.
But it was still, a good match.
It was a very decent match. There was trading taunts to begin with, which was quite cool. With the whole "come on" thing, which I think is bloody brilliant. Again, going back to the apron, Jeff hit a swanton on the apron. It's like bloody hell. He's 40 years old, that man. How is he still doing it? He's a god. He's a god amongst men.
Golden god.
He's brilliant. And oh my god, a clean heel win. Shinsuke goes over clean.
I think Jeff might take some time off.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I remember reading somewhere that he might be injured or
I think he's got a foot injury or something. Don't know. But yeah, Nakamura retains, and then Randy Orton came out, and then he fucked off.
Yeah, imagine putting your gear on just to walk off.
No, he did nothing.
Yeah.
He did absolutely nothing. Don't know what that was about. But I guess we'll find out on SmackDown.
I guess his new feud is against Randy Orton.
Shinsuke against Orton. Which, fair enough. We'll see how boring that can be. Moving on.
Just don't want him to shake hands before the match.
Oh God, yeah, no. Make sure he's washed his hands first.
Yeah.
Bring some sanitizer to the ring with you. Just
a rubber glove.
Oh God. So next up was for the Raw Women's title. Thanks SmackDown, Raw will take it from here. Last 2 matches back to back are the Raw main titles. So Alexa Bliss defending her Raw Women's title against Ronda Rousey. Alexa Bliss, the champion, comes out first. What hope does she have at that point?
Did she?
She came out first.
Oh no, Natty came out first.
No, Natalya came out first.
But I'm not quite sure why she was there.
No, it was mostly just to give her a.
Your dad's
side will give you a bit of a cheer up. So Alexa Bliss came out first, and it's like, what hope do you possibly have if you're sending, at least give some sort of intrigue? Fans are smart about this nowadays.
Yeah, but you'd probably, on one hand, yes, the champion came out first, but on the second hand, the heel also came out first.
That's true.
So the fans are popping, so they're excited.
True, but Nakamura,
I'm not saying it's the case
Carmella, Bludgeon Brothers, Ziggler, B-Team, all came out second.
But it's Ronda Rousey.
But it is Ronda Rousey. But that's, and now there isn't much of a point. But it is, you still. I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't really matter, but it still doesn't.
It kills the crowd a bit. I think having
Ronda, if Ronda come out first,
and then Alexa Bliss, it killed the crowd a bit.
At least at this way round, they know what's coming. I guess there are ways of looking at it.
Normally I'd agree.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but
it's Ronda.
It's Ronda Rousey.
Brilliant,
it's a short match.
Brilliant facials all round. I thought.
Yeah,
especially from Ronda, especially from Bliss. It was an absolute pro. 4 minutes this match went. 4 bloody minutes.
It did not feel half as long as that.
Nope, felt like 2. Ronda Rousey taps out Alexa Bliss and is your new Raw Women's Champion. Marvelous. She, they said like. I was actually watching a video and someone said like, we've seen her decimate women in the UFC. Why not just do the same?
It's believable.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course it is.
WWE.
If you'd rather come in and had Alexa Bliss go 20 minutes with Ronda Rousey, nah. So like, I think she's just kind of got to adapt it. I think I'd like to see her adapt her style into a more technical style of wrestling, rather than just batter people. Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, then it's just like, you might as well just go to Bellator or something. Then, give us something. Like, I guess the spectacle at the moment is seeing Ronda Rousey decimate people. But when it comes to her facing Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte, Asuka, you're going to want her to actually put on a technical wrestling match, or actually put on a wrestling match rather than a beat 'em up squash.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one, because on one hand, maybe it's a bit too early to put the belt on her. On the other hand, maybe you couldn't get it done soon enough. Because now, putting the belt on her now means all the other women have got to go up to that standard.
Yeah.
It's got to raise all of them up rather than first.
She's got to go to their level.
Yeah, so now they've got to come to her level.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean,
especially if they're trying to build like the women's thing as like a real serious thing.
Yeah, as wrestling.
Yeah.
To match that, it's like, and considering you've just gotten rid of Brock Lesnar to go to UFC to do his thing, and you're now just being like, so you girls are going to do this now, yeah? But you've just let him go off to do his thing. Why have we got to do her thing when she's not? When she's going to do our thing? You just got to. So I can see what you mean. but we shall see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
I don't know where they're going to go from here though, because right now, I wouldn't say there's really a viable challenge.
I would imagine Alexa Bliss will get a rematch clause, and they'll build to it, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like a bit like long term.
Oh, longevity. I don't know. I guess the only people you could say are Asuka or Charlotte. That's literally it. They're the only
Charlotte's
two.
on SmackDown.
But exactly, and so is Asuka.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's a conundrum.
Yeah, we'll see.
That is a conundrum. We'll see. Seems to be our catchphrase really on this podcast, doesn't it? Along with the many others.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, on to your main event of the evening. It was Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. Oh, hi, Braun. Fancy seeing you here. This got me quite excited. At first I was like, oh, they're just going to make this a triple threat. Oh, no. And then he was just like, I'm just going to stand out here. Whoever wins, you got me next. I was like, yeah, that's admirable, which was good because, and then I've been thinking about this. I'll run through the match and then I'll run through like hindsight. So what happened then was they got the match on instantly. Superman punches at the gate, spears, German suplexes. Roman goes for a spear. Brock sidesteps him. Roman flies through the second, takes out Braun. Brock then comes out after Roman, picks up Braun, hits him with an F5, grabs a chair, whacks the shit out of Braun, goes to bring the chair into the ring, gets hit with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Brock Lesnar is done. We have a new Universal Champion. Cool.
I thought it was. It's a good. I'm a bit indifferent about it.
6 minutes, 10 seconds.
I'm a bit indifferent about it.
Is my thoughts. So you bring Braun out simply to distract the fans. So you don't give. They still got a "You suck" chant in there, which well done, Brooklyn. But they had Braun. So they weren't going to shit all over it because there was always the excitement of Braun wanting to. And then when they beat, and then it was the best thing that could have happened once you'd eliminated Braun from the equation. He wasn't going to cash in. You then finished the match as soon as possible, and the cameras went as quickly as possible, like finished.
I suppose it was done quite well. You know, given
it was booking genius to get it away from, to get the heat off Roman, and to not have him booed or whatever. But even so, I still sat there at the end and just went, I am in the exact same position here. I still have a Universal Champion that I do not want, that I don't respect, that I could not care less about.
Let's be honest, it was going to happen.
Oh, of course it was. It was the only way that it could happen.
They've basically just ripped the plaster off and gone, fuck it, let's just fucking do it.
Yep. Finally.
Yeah, so, I'm glad that it's finally done. I'm hoping now that maybe we'll get some more competitive main events. Because the last few with Brock have been like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 6 minutes, 10.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually want to see Roman do something worth my while. I want to see him prove that he can be a good wrestler.
These two have been feuding for 3 years over this belt. The Attitude Era was 3 years. They've been fighting over this as long as the Attitude Era was.
It's mental, isn't it? That's how long. Shit, yeah, man, that's insane. That's actually ridiculous. I'm so glad this is over now. I'm just going to revel in this bullshit that it is now over. That like Brock is. If Alex was here, Alex would be just fucking going mental right now. She hated Lesnar.
I'm glad he's
I'm so happy. But yeah, but I still don't care. Just bring on Balor. Balor.
Yeah, bring on the future.
Balor has never his re-title match. Get the belt back on him. Fuck off, Roman. Still don't like you. Don't care.
Maybe my opinion will change. I'm a bit, it's sort of a case of just, bending over and accepting it at this point.
Yeah, it is at this point. But that's the only, because that's the only situation. It's the best. It's like, right, you can either have Roman win, have Roman beat Brock. Brock stays as champion, or you can have your cock shot off. Choose one. Fine. I guess if it means that he can still, we can actually have some competitive matches in the main event of Raw. But this is what I mean. Now you've got Brock Lesnar out of the way, who was this impossible person to beat. He was the guy who broke the streak. He was the guy who decimated people in so many seconds or whatever. And so now You have Roman in there, who you know Braun can beat. Balor can beat him, because Balor beat him to get into the main event of the first ever one anyway. And so it instantly brings it to this other level. And given the amount of spears and the amount of Superman punches that he had to put on Lesnar to have him put it away, and that Lesnar was a little bit distracted from the whole
with
Braun thing, it's fine. Plays into it nicely, but you've raised up the level of Braun, of Balor, who must be next in line, and it's just going to be nice to see a competitive title scene. And I felt really weird, like, as I was writing down Universal title in my book, making my notes, I was like, I can't remember the last time I wrote that down. Cannot remember, because he's just not been here. He's just never around. Actually, when was the last time I wrote Brock Lesnar and Universal title?
WrestleMania?
It would have been. Even then I didn't write any notes for WrestleMania because we fell asleep during it. Well, I didn't fall asleep during it, but I was too engrossed. Got halfway through that because we were thingy. That's Dominion. That's for the UK tournament. And that's Backlash, which he wasn't at either. So WrestleMania was. That's my WrestleMania page, which is blank because I didn't get to it at all. That's not even there. That was Fastlane. That was
Elimination Chamber or Greatest Royal Rumble if we did that.
See, was he on there then? He wasn't, because that was to determine the number one contender at WrestleMania. Oh my god, going back ages. Royal Rumble 18. Yeah, the Universal title. Yeah. Didn't have any notes for it. That was the last time. Royal Rumble. Fucking 7 months ago. Insane. Well, it's going to be much more of a regular occurrence now. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Raw and on SmackDown. There's actually some storylines to go into them, which is always nice, carries it on, but that's not what SummerSlam should do. SummerSlam should be a halfway point. Now you're building to new feuds.
You're building towards WrestleMania.
Building towards...
Basically.
Sort of...
that's what
I'd say you build. It's more building towards other bigger feuds or whatever. But I would only say really after Survivor Series you start building then towards.
Oh yeah, I suppose yes. I forgot about Survivor Series.
So you can kind of. It's more shaping Survivor Series. It's not really booking for Survivor Series. It's now shaping Survivor Series. If they're going to do the brand versus brand again, it's now deciding which champions do we want to face which champions. Which at this point in time it looks like we're getting AJ. At this point we're getting AJ versus Roman, we're getting Ronda versus Charlotte, and we're getting Bludgeon Brothers versus B Team, which won't be the predicament.
No.
Come thinking, and we'd also be getting Nakamura versus Rollins, which I actually wouldn't mind.
Yeah, that'd be quite nice.
Actually wouldn't mind. But looking ahead to Hell in a Cell, we're probably going to get a rematch of Joe and AJ. We're probably going to get Charlotte versus Becky, which I would actually like to see in the Hell in a Cell. Probably going to get Miz and Daniel Bryan, which I'd like to see be no DQ, not in the cell. And whoever Roman's going to face for his first title defense.
Will it be Braun?
Which probably will be Braun, won't it? And I would hope that's in Hell in a Cell, and I hope Braun takes it from Roman there and then, because.
But then who challenges Braun? It's a weird one, that, having Braun.
Because it then takes you back to almost the same situation. They have booked themselves into this roundabout, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
Because of
Who takes it from Braun? Because Braun's also pretty unbeatable.
Yeah,
I don't think has he been beaten yet, properly.
No, I don't think so. Because Kane took the pinfall in Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
I don't think he has. I don't think he's lost in quite a while. That could be a very interesting fact to look up. But it's a shame we're not real journalists. Anyway, folks, actually, before we go, let's address our predictions. Let's end on a happy note. So, it was yours truly defending the predictions title, and it was Croft defending or trying to get rid of his Virgil card of shame. So, in reverse order, in last place is Willow. Woo! You are the Virgil Card of Shame holder again.
Virgil Card of Shame holder.
This is your second reign.
Second reign.
Purple
reign.
Actually, no, it's not. It's your third reign, mate. It's your
Am I the most winningest?
No, you're on par with Alex.
So I'm equally as bad as Alex.
You're just as bad as Alex. Which, well, I mean, by the end of this list is by the end of this reveal isn't actually that bad. In joint third place was myself and Pete, tying yet again, narrowly just avoiding the drop. You only got 7, but we only got 8.
Yeah.
In second place on his own is Croft, and your new joint predictions champions are Candy, and for the first ever time is Alex. So congrats to you guys. This is Candy's 4th title reign.
Is he the most winningest?
He is the most winningest. I have 3. Alex, Croft and Willow have 1 apiece, but Pete is now officially the only person to have not won anything. Apart from the briefcase, Pete hasn't won anything. But saying that, he has drawn so many times. It's mental. It really is. And I need to update our... we also have, which I've not mentioned, I don't think I've mentioned, we have our predictions league going on. So it's whoever gets the most predictions right from WrestleMania to Fastlane, probably. Whether they're still doing 2 pay-per-views in between WrestleMania and... Well, remains to be seen, but basically until from WrestleMania this year up until the last pay-per-view until WrestleMania next year. I think last time I updated them, I was in the lead by about 2, but that will most definitely have changed after tonight. I'm pretty sure Candy is now in the lead. But there we go. But that ends. I just want to point out that was the longest reign that we just had. That's just ended. History has just been had, folks.
Well, no, our first one was long.
It was, but we weren't defending them in between. So this is what I put on the group chat. That it was the pre. This is the defending them every
so this
show
is like
era.
Bruno Sammartino.
Because I'll give you. I'm pretty sure I did this on the last one, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown. So myself and Willow were the first predictions champions from WrestleMania 33.
Yes,
33. And we held that up until SummerSlam for 141 days. But we weren't defending them at that point because Candy then won it at SummerSlam and held it till Survivor Series. But he wasn't defending them either. So Croft won it at Survivor Series and immediately lost it at Clash of Champions because we then brought in the new rule, which then myself and Candy won it at Clash of Champions and held it to Royal Rumble. I then was the sole retainer at Royal Rumble and held it to Elimination Chamber. Then Candy won it back and held it through to Backlash. Then I won it at Backlash and I've held it right the way through to SummerSlam. I think me and Candy hold the same for number of defences. So we're on par with that. However, with 106 days, what a reign. Alright,
blow your own horn.
I will. I shall. And being only a 2-time Virgil Card of Shame holder as well, you're putting your neck out. But there we go. Thank you for listening, folks. This has been FedWatch. Do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Do not forget to check out our blogger for any new articles that come out whenever we decide to write some new ones. And thank you for listening. This has been I hope you've enjoyed listening. We've had fun watching SummerSlam, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time when we do our top 10 matches
of all time.
Well, our favourite matches anyway. They're not
personal top 10. Personal
top 10s, definitively. So thanks for listening, folks. We'll see you next time. Bye byes. Willow. Fuck you.